Hey, what's going on, guys? So today we have the Akaso EK7000 4K Wi-Fi sport camera review. So here we go. The Akaso EK7000 can be considered a cheap GoPro alternative, but is also a decent little action sport camera in its own right, allowing for the following shooting modes. It can shoot in 720p at 120 frames per second, 1080p at 30 or 60 frames per second, Ultra HD 4K at 25 frames per second, and 2.7K at 30 frames per second. One thing to keep in mind with that 4K is it's interpolated 4K, so it's not true 4K. So basically what it is it's 1080p that's upscaled to 4K or 2.7K. In addition to video, the camera also shoots still pictures, so here's some examples of that. It has a 12 megapixel sensor with a resolution of 4608 by 2592. The shooting modes for the camera include the video, still pictures, burst mode, which lets you take pictures in quick succession, and then there's also a time-lapse mode. In the box, in addition to the camera, of course, you also get two 1050 milliamp per hour batteries, a remote control, a waterproof case, and most of the attachments you'll need for attaching to a helmet, a bike, or anything else that you might want to attach the camera to. I recently went on a rafting trip and used the included waterproof case and the straps and mounts to attach to the helmet. I had no problems with it, and for a 4K action camera under $100, I gotta say this actually worked really well and much better than I expected it to. On the front of the device is the lens, LED charging indicator, and power button. On the right side is the micro HDMI, micro USB, and micro SD card slot. And one thing about the micro SD card slot is it's rated at up to 32 gigabytes. I've been using a 200 gigabyte card in mine and haven't had a problem. It may not be reading the whole thing, I'm not quite sure about that, but as far as using it, it hasn't been a problem at all. On the back is the LCD screen, which is functional but doesn't have great viewing angles and is kind of hard to see in direct sunlight. On the left side, we have the up and down arrows. The up and down arrows function as navigating up and down when you're in the menu system, but when you're outside of the menu system, the down arrow activates the Wi-Fi, and I'll show you that later. It gets a little confusing, but once you get used to it, it's not too bad. At the top of the device is the LED power indicator, as well as the shutter button, which also doubles as the select button when you're in the menu system. The construction of the device is solid, but it's all plastic. It definitely doesn't feel very premium, but I gotta say I've dropped this quite a few times and it's still functioning just as well as it did on day one. So it may not look very durable, but it definitely is. In addition to the buttons directly on the device, there's two ways to remote control it. The first one is via that remote control that's included in the box. So it's real simple remote control. It has one button for snapping still photos and then another button for starting and stopping your video recordings. So what's the second option for controlling this little action camera? Wi-Fi. There's an app available for both Android and iOS that lets you connect to the camera via Wi-Fi and control it. So for this to work, you're going to need to download the Easy iCam app. So you can find that in either the Google Play Store or the Apple App Store. Once you have the app installed, press the down arrow on the camera and you'll get a message that it's awaiting the Wi-Fi connection. On the phone, go into your Wi-Fi settings and select the iCam-H9R, and then there'll be some numbers after that. If it prompts you for a password, the initial password is 12345678990. So after you make that Wi-Fi connection, launch the Easy iCam app. You'll come to the main screen, go ahead and tap the connect button at the bottom of that screen, and it should take you into the remote connection. This app allows you to change the resolution, but for some reason it only lists the 1080p and the 720p resolutions. It doesn't list the 4K and 2.7K, and I'm not really sure why that is. The app will also let you transfer pictures and video directly from the camera to your mobile device, as well as being able to take pictures and start and stop the video remotely. So the battery life on this little action camera is rated at about 90 minutes, and I was honestly getting right around that. I was getting 75 to 90 minutes shooting at 1080p, and the really nice thing about this camera is that it comes with two batteries in the box. So as long as you keep both of them charged, you can just pop the dead one out, pop the new one in, and you're off and running real easy. Powering on the device will take you to the video recording screen by default. This screen shows you how much time you can record for, the current frame rate, as well as battery life. Pressing on the power button on the front of the device takes you to the next screen, which is the still photo mode with some similar information on the screen related to stills. Clicking that power button again will take you to the multi-shot mode where you can take several stills in rapid succession. And then another click will take you to that time-lapse mode that let you take some nice time-lapse video. And then one more click takes you into the menu system. Now the menu is pretty limited, but it gives you all the basic functionalities like video resolution, setting up a timestamp, some basic exposure adjustments, photo settings, language, date and time, etc. So navigation in the menu is done through the up and down buttons on the side. To select an item, you'll hit the shutter button at the top, and to go back, you can hit that power button on the front to go back a menu. So earlier in the video, I mentioned that I took it on a rafting trip. So here's some sample video from that trip. And as you can see in good lighting, it actually does a really nice job. This was all shot at 1080p, and for the price, I'm actually really happy with the quality of this little action cam. So the camera does have a built-in microphone, and it's not great, but it's not horrible. Here's some sample video to kind of showcase the microphone. All right, guys, so here's a little test of the microphone, and as you can hear, it's nothing special, but you know, for an action cam, it picks up the surrounding audio, so it does what it's intended to do, and you wouldn't want to use it for any high production value items anyway, so the microphone's not too bad on this. Although it's not on par with the GoPro, I would say it's a good, cheap GoPro alternative. If you look at the camera just by itself without comparing it to a GoPro, it's actually a really good sport camera, action cam, action sport camera, whatever you want to call it. So what do you guys think of this camera? Do you have one, or are you interested in getting one? Go ahead and leave a comment below and let me know. Also, if you like the video, hit the like button. And if you really like the video, go ahead and hit subscribe and then hit the little bell button next to the subscription to get notified when I put up a new video. Thanks so much, guys, for watching, and I will see you in the next video.